Hello everyone, welcome to the IAS Mentor Ethics class. In this class, let us try to understand the philosophy of Sri Aurobindo. Sri Aurobindo was a nationalist. He was fighting against the British Raj. In the initial phases of Indian National Congress, the first generation of leadership in Indian National Congress was called moderates. But the moderates were believing that British Raj was in favor of India's progress. But the later generation understood the true colors of British Raj and they started fighting against the British Raj in a different manner that came to be known as extremist phase. Sri Aurobindo belongs to extremist phase of Indian National Congress. He was a generalist also. In his writings, he highlighted the exploitation of the British and he motivated the youth. Sometimes even violent activities also took place in 1900s, so from early 1900s to in 1908 and 9 and in that time period when Bengal was partitioned, particularly the extremist phase took momentum. Revolutionary activities also started. The British arrested Sri Aurobindo for inciting the youth against the British Raj. He was imprisoned also for the sake of Alipur conspiracy case. But later he was found innocent and he got released. But still, British used to follow him and his activities. And he also appeared for Indian civil services also, but due to horse riding test, he was not able to make it. He could not join Indian civil service. And in the first place, he was also not that much interested in serving the British Raj also. So he was a well-read person, widely knowledgeable person. When he was young, he fought against the British Raj and the exploitation. But after some time, gradually his attention moved towards philosophy. In 1900s, by that time period, Swami Vivekananda was very much influential in Bengal region. He also belonged to Bengal region. He was a very well wide-read person. That's why he read about Mahabharata, Ramayana, Upanishads, Advaita philosophy, Ramanujacharya, Adi Shankaracharya. He read about Indian philosophies. He also, while preparing for Indian civil services, he learned about Greek philosophy also, like Greco-Roman philosophies and Western philosophies. By that time, philosophers like Kant also, French philosophers were there. He learned about them also. Then he understood. He lived in London also while he was preparing for Indian civil services. He observed how the West was growing materialistically, scientifically. He observed that. But when he came to India, he has seen a lot of poverty here. Famines, poor people, standard of living is very poor, people living in superstitious beliefs. On top of it, British were continuously exploiting Indians and so on. On one side, the materialistic life is progressing in Western life. On the other hand, Indian side is the poor conditions. Then he integrated both of them. The core ideology of or core philosophy of Sri Aurobindo is to make this earth a heaven. Generally, philosophies means when it comes to India, if you take Advaita philosophy, Vedantic philosophy, after the death, people will reach the heaven. But his philosophy is bring the heaven to the earth itself. And he gave a different kind of meaning to divine or Brahman and also the soul. One after the other, he tried to simplify his way, his philosophy in with different examples and different philosophies. His main intention is to make this life as beautiful as possible, to make this life as divine as possible. He used to tell that there is nothing illusion. According to Advaita philosophy, the real world is not there, it is a Maya. according to Adi Shankara philosophy, Advaita philosophy, only Brahman is reality. But this world is Maya. But Sri Aurobindo says, there is nothing illusion. This is also the manifestation of divine life. This is also the manifestation of God. In order to reach the heaven, don't wait for the death and try to see the heaven after the death. You make every step, every moment of this life divine. But for that, you have to have proper knowledge. That consciousness must be very clear. Initially, people were ignorant of that. But once you start putting effort, you will start realizing that that consciousness is there within you, and you will start seeing divinity in every step, in every development of this physical world. Let us try to understand this. And I have just given like a introduction. He's a philosopher, nationalist, and so on. Philosophical foundation that the world is not illusion, but a real manifestation of the divine. Spiritual realization is not withdrawal from the world, but transformation of worldly life into divine life. Generally, in case of sannyasi tradition in Indian context, people leave. People leave the family, people leave the society and try to live in isolated world for the realization of the truth, for reaching the divine. But when it comes to Sri Aurobindo, he says, you need not to leave this world. While you are living, while you are moving in this life from one step to the other step, you can still see divinity in every step. That is what he is trying to explain. He called this transformation integral evolution achieved through integral yoga. So this is the core ideology of Aurobindo Ghosh, that through integral yoga or integral evolution, every person can make or create heaven while you are living. You need not to die for reaching the heaven. That is what integral yoga or integral evolution. Influences on his thought, Indian philosophy, and also Western influence. Both Western ideology as well as Indian ideology influenced his thought. Personal and political influences. So he was fighting for the freedom. He felt that unless India becomes free, spiritually, India also cannot become free. Then, three central concepts of his philosophy: involution, the descent of, let me, there are three elements. These are the core elements to understand his philosophy. One is involution, second, evolution, involution, second one, evolution, second one is evolution, and the third one is integral yoga. These are the three key ideas of his philosophy. What his aim is? Aim is to make life divine. Life itself is divine. In order to reach divine, you need not to die. You need not to live the life. Life itself is divine. Next, bring heaven. Bring heaven to the earth itself. Earth itself. But how to bring it? And that's what he is trying to explain through these ideas. Involution means this reality, this materialistic life, it is not Maya. It is also the manifestation of God. It is also manifestation of divinity. Like, for example, if you see the tree, a big tree, For the outside world, when tree has grown very big, everyone can see that, everyone can feel it. But what about when that tree is hidden in the seed? In the seed, tree is there, but all will not see. Only when it becomes a tree, then everyone can see. This is materialistic life, and the ability to see that materialistic life that is hidden in the seed, that is where observing that consciousness means that aspect. Ability to see is the ability to invoke that consciousness. And how come this much big thing hidden in this? This is what he calls involution. That means there is a light inside the seed, but that is hidden. Once light comes out, then everyone can see it. That is the life. But this process of hiding the light in this is called involution. So if I show you this, that is God manifest in this format. Involution means divine consciousness descending and hiding itself in matter. That matter could be seed, that matter could be any kind of scientific development, any materialistic, whatever we see visibly, any building, any machine, any kind of output, what people are producing, that is called matter. Matter means this body, this building, and whatever we see outside world. It could be hilly region, it could be river, it could be anything. The one becomes the many and the infinite becomes finite. So this is how, when it comes to the Brahman, Brahman is ultimate. That is infinite. But when it comes to materialistic life, that is finite. And the process of hiding that infinite into this finite materialistic life, involution. That's called involution. The one becomes many and the infinite becomes finite. So this infinite is becoming finite, but this is one. But now it is becoming a many. This is what the process of becoming one into many, infinite into finite, is called involution. But all people cannot see this, and that is where philosophy, that is where philosophy is all about. This is called involution. Only through right knowledge, right consciousness, you can identify this one. The second pillar is reverse process. That like God is hidden in this, now the God is visible to you in every stage of evolution. So the reverse process is called evolution. For example, how human evolution started. Like if you take a scientific way of method of life, water, water to small chemical reaction, and from that chemical reaction, then human evolution started, biological evolution. That hidden seed, that hidden light in that small step is called involution. Process of converting that small step into big tree or big evolution is called evolution. That stage is evolution. Now see, evolution, ascent of consciousness. Evolution is the reverse movement of involution, the ascent of the hidden divine consciousness back into full manifestation. Reverse process. Matter, matter into life, and mind, supermind. And he gives different concepts like supermind. Each stage reveals higher consciousness levels. Each stage, like moving from one stage to the other stage. If a person pass through different stages, higher level of consciousness. If people are not able to see, it doesn't mean it is not existing. According to this philosophy, if people are not able to realize this, it doesn't mean it is not existing, but you are not capable enough to realize this. But when you pass through this higher level of consciousness, higher and higher, then you will reach this stage as well. Otherwise, people can reach only up to some extent, and beyond that, they cannot see that. But this process is called evolution. This process of hiding the light inside very small minute particle is called involution. Simply, conversion of Brahman into matter is involution, and conversion of matter into Brahman, evolution. But what is the path? For the common people, that path is integral yoga, the path of transformation. What is that? It is the practical method. Like you should first believe it, knowledge is required, and you should strive every moment to realize that. That is what action, karma yoga. Jnana yoga is required, karma yoga is required, and whatever work you do, you should do with love, intention, with love and compassion, with utmost humility. If you perform each and every step in your life, that is called bhakti yoga. And jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, and karma yoga, these three will give you the path to achieve that divinity in each and every step of the life. That is called combination of yogas: jnana yoga, knowledge of the divine; bhakti yoga, love and surrender to the divine; karma yoga, work as offering to the divine; raja or tantra yoga, control and transformation of energies, controlling of the senses. If a person follow this process, and automatically in each and every step of this life, we can realize divinity. So simply, if you want to see the God, you need not to die. You need not to die to achieve heaven, to reach heaven. To attain moksha, you need not to die. Only after that, you need not to go for death to achieve what is called liberation. In each and every step when you are living, if you follow these steps, like with knowledge of this consciousness, with surrender to the divine, love and compassion to the divine, and also work as an offering to the divine, karma yoga, and also controlling your senses. If every person does this, every person can realize divinity in each and every step of the life, because life itself is a manifestation of God. That's what his intention here is. What is the condition of India at that time? When it comes to West, materialistically progressive. But what about India? Poor. And people during this time period, people used to believe that in this life, we are born like this, maybe in the next life, after that, we may achieve some kind of comfort. But his intention is life itself is divine. Life itself is divine. Don't look for divinity after your death. First, you understand this. This knowledge is very important. Divinity is hidden in each and every matter, like a tree is hidden in a seed, like light is hidden in the seed. Divinity is hidden in every particle, every matter. Understand this knowledge. That is called Jnana Yoga. That is called Jnana Yoga. Next, surrender to this divine, Bhakti Yoga. And Do each and every work. Do each and every work, karma yoga, as offering to the divine, as if you are surrendering and doing your work. Like Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, do your duty without expecting in return. That means performing your actions with perfection. Karma yoga. And controlling senses, Raja yoga or Tantra yoga. If every person, if a person follow these steps, and they will truly realize what is divine. So you need not to die to realize the divine. In each and every step that is hidden, that's what involution. Already divine is hidden through evolution of that consciousness stage by stage, you will achieve divinity. And for that you need this path. And he called this path as integral yoga. Integral yoga. So traditionally, yoga means you need not to worry about this body. Integral, the traditional one. Advaita philosophy yoga says that after the death, if you control every sense, after the death, you will attain moksha. But when it comes to integral yoga, in each and every step, if you follow this, you will understand what really divinity is all about. Simply, in which context he is telling, this is the context. People were oppressed, people were exploiting, poor people are exploited, they were oppressed by the officials, and also in India, feudal lords, upper caste, and British, racial discrimination, caste discrimination, gender discrimination. This is the one. But if a person follow this integral yoga, then people will not follow this because they are seeing divinity in every person's life. So ultimately, it is to make the life of Indians more fruitful. For that, he says, freedom is also very important. If India is not free, this kind of spiritual freedom, people cannot attain. Because spiritual freedom required for attaining full realization of the life. But if you are not free, if you are always exploited, and if you are not having freedom from poverty, freedom from ignorance. Here poverty means economically you are poor, ignorance means education wise you are poor, and you are having a lot of restrictions in terms of gender, in terms of caste, in terms of race, then you are not given right tools to realize the divinity that is present in you. That's why first India should get freedom. Only a free country can realize, can achieve spiritual freedom also. To attain spiritual freedom, people have to realize that divinity is there in every manifestation of the materialistic life. This materialistic life itself is a manifestation of divine life. Through ultimate consciousness, people can realize this divinity in each and every step. People can realize in each and every step. That's what three key pillars: involution, evolution, and integral yoga. He mentioned something called supermind. That supermind is nothing but in our human mind, we know partially and make mistakes. We do not know complete truth and we used to commit mistakes. But in the supermind, there is no ignorance, no division. It knows reality as a whole. And motto is all life is yoga. If a person attain that kind of mind, that mind is called supermind. So this supermind is the bridge between infinite and finite. So simply, if someone wants to achieve this If someone wants to achieve from finite, that means materialistic life, to divinity, you should possess supermind. It is a bridge. It is a bridge that acts in every minute, every time, that connects this life to divinity. If person can develop this supermind, automatically they will see enjoyment, blissfulness in every stage, every step, every day, every minute. That blissfulness will come only when a person possesses this supermind. That supermind is beyond this ignorance. The supermind understand what Brahman is all about. So simply, Brahman is manifested in every stage of life. Indirectly, through this philosophy, he is trying to preach, don't look the people in the prism, through the prism of caste, through the prism of race, through the prism of gender. Everyone is equal. Everyone is a manifestation of God. The real realization of this truth itself is achieving supermind. Through that, you will attain moksha, or you will realize what really divinity is all about. Human destiny and divine life. The destiny of man is to become supramental being, fully conscious of the divine. The aim is not salvation in heaven, but manifestation of heaven on earth, a divine society, simply blissful society where all people are happy, where there is no exploitation, where people treat everyone equal, so that everyone have a chance to live beautiful and blissful life. Everyone have a chance to lead a happy life. And for that, you have to see divinity in each and everything surrounding you. If you, the moment you start seeing divinity everywhere, then caste division will go, religion division will go, rich and poor division will go, gender division will go, white race and black race division will go. Everyone treats equally everyone. That's what in that context he was trying to say. Ethical and political dimension advocated spiritual nationalism, India's freedom as part of divine plan. True freedom means freedom of spirit, not merely political independence. Aurobindo believed India's spiritual awakening would lead humanity's evolution. So that's what you have to awaken to the spiritual life. Then everyone can live or lead a happy life. Don't die for reaching the heaven, but try to create heaven in each and every stage of the life. That's called integral yoga. In that integral yoga, you are going to follow these steps: Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Raja Yoga. This is called integral yoga. Integral yoga. It is about physical, it is about mental, it is about consciousness level of unity. So both matter, mind, soul, all got united. That's what integral yoga. When it comes to mains examination, when it comes to ethics examination, you can use this kind of philosophy where caste system is there, where untouchability practice is there, where child labor is there. You can try to use this kind of philosophies. If question is directly about explain about integral yoga of Aurobindo also, you can explain all these things. But in the application part, if you want to apply Aurobindo Ghosh philosophy in day-to-day life, then you can apply like corruption, corrupt mind, dividing the people for the power sake, communal tensions and caste tensions, untouchability related evils, social evils. In all these matters, this kind of philosophy can be applied. This philosophy teaches looking or realizing divinity in everyone in every stage of life. All right. So with this, we are ending this one. This PDF will come to you. You can just read it after watching the class. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.